Good morning, everyone. We are live with office hours. Eric is going to be joining, but it'll be a little later. He is currently on a great sales call with a lead that we've got going on and working with our sales team. So, going to be hopping on here once he's done. But glad to have you here with us this morning. Hopefully, we'll have a few more people hop on. But in the meantime, we got our standbys, Aaron and Mike, hanging out with us this morning. Great to have you guys with us this morning. How are y'all doing?
Good, Justin. How are you?
Doing good. What are you guys working on right now?
I'm really plugging into San Diego.
Okay.
So I know that's like forbidden land for most.
That's tricky.
It's tricky. It's tricky. I'm kind of learning like what the big niche is right now in San Diego, and
Okay.
just really digging into like capital there. Right. There's a lot of private equity in San Diego.
For sure.
And that's people are doing like bigger things with like multifamily, commercial, development, even like now these ADUs, or accessory dwelling units. Those are their development. So it's just bigger totals, bigger capital asks, I guess.
Yeah, I'm starting to see some of those ADU like conversations happening and people asking about them in North Carolina, but otherwise I don't hardly ever hear about them in the Midwest, but they seem to be really prominent out on the the West Coast there.
Yeah, and I'm not totally sure why, other than it is hard to build in San Diego. There's a limited amount of land, I guess. We're bordered by an ocean and then mountains to the east of us. So ocean to the west of us, mountains to the east of us. And it's kind of like, fortunately, a lot of properties were built with bigger backyards back in the day. So,
So
people
what are you seeing? A lot of people are using them for. I mean, I have a few ideas of what I think some people might be using for. But what are you seeing? Is it that they're renting it out as a source of additional income for them when they own the main property, or is it a lot of times an investor who owns the main house and is also renting out the ADU? What's kind of a common use case there for those?
So I'm seeing both. I first started seeing ADUs hit back in 2017, 2018. And it was mostly like the homeowner either looking to move their, they're also called granny flats, in-law suites, especially out here in California, casitas. So I would see the homeowner kind of trying to move their in-laws or relatives in for like some supplemental income.
Sure.
But now I am seeing a bigger push for the investor to own the main home, rent that out, and then also develop ADUs in the backyard.
Makes sense.
Those out.
Yeah. So, interesting. So where do you see yourself plugging in? It sounds like you're looking at the capital side, and you're looking at tackling the unique complexities of California's market there. What are you hoping to do in that area?
I just wanted to work with some of these potential lenders, just to see what they're looking at, what they're looking for. And also, I'm talking more and more with these ADU developers to see where their strategy lies, where their pain points lie, because I have construction experience, and I guess the last residential construction company I worked with, we were taking on these ADU opportunities and building them out, and I mean, it's like doing a smaller house, and there are challenges. Don't get me wrong, like dealing with the utility companies, like trying to figure out how to add more electrical usage to the grid, and I'd say that's probably the biggest hurdle. But I was in solar, so I'm very familiar with our utility company out here in San Diego, and it's like you just got to know the right planner, I guess, inside and kind of navigate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
very interesting.
Kind of a three-pronged approach I have, but so far it's been good.
What if any questions do you have, that about that process? I mean, I don't know that I'll be able to help you necessarily with San Diego, but just out of curiosity, what are some of the questions that are on your mind that you're looking to solve as you go down that road?
Yeah, I guess that was a good question. I mean, I guess the PML I would be looking for is someone who either has a ton of disposable, net worth, or am I looking for a private equity firm? I don't know. Right now, I've talked to a lot of ADU developers that are going the hard money and either using cash flow from like a construction business that they own, or cash flow that they've gotten from rentals that they own to fund their development
and all that stuff.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people just like bootstrapping.
Yeah,
these
interesting.
Folks, so yeah, I want to see if it's even viable for private money lender or private money partner to come in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like you might have an area where you could figure out where to come in and serve. Biggest trick is obviously anything new construction, new development, or anything like that is sorry, my daughter is pounding my just one moment, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ringing the doorbell.
Hey Mike, are you looking for capital for like the entire ADU projects from ground up, or are you looking for more gap funds?
Looking for both, I guess. But more I'm seeing more gap funding needs.
For like between the hard money and completion.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, those obviously new construction, what I was going to say is, it's tricky because you run it, it's got a little bit more nuance to it, a lot more as far as zoning, permitting, things like that are a little harder to overcome sometimes than, just your standard fix and flip. So that's just good to know that and walk into that with eyes wide open, knowing that it's not the same game at all. Trying to do fix and flip versus new construction, usually going to be a lot longer period of time that you're stuck in the, the deal. And And then the other thing to just consider and be aware of is if the need is gap funding, usually gap, you just got to be really careful about what your loan to value ultimately ends up being, because once you fill in that gap and you're in a second position, it could very well be that you're really at the stage that the project is in. The project may be over leveraged or leveraged all the way up, so there isn't really room for an error and still get your money out. So it's just something to be aware of. If you could find somebody with big enough pockets to literally fund the whole deal and not be a gap funder in it, and find some strategic way to plug yourself into that process and help them fill in a gap where hard money doesn't really work, then that might be an option. That's kind of what we ended up doing, right? Because we have a lot of people asking that they're looking for a gap in fix and flip space, because they don't want to use up all their liquidity on stuff like the down payment, the monthly payments and all of that stuff. So our product is kind of this unique little bridge where we're like, we can offer up to 100% funding, but it has to essentially, hard money will often require something down, no matter how good a purchase price you get, right? So no matter how good your deal is, oftentimes you're still going to require some sort of down payment, points of skin in the game, right? And where our product is serving in kind of this vacuum or this gap is that we have a set parameter where it's like, based on this formula that we're using, the maximum allowable formula, and determining what the as is value is and what we're willing to lend against that as is value, we can decide what is the max we would loan on this deal based on the rehab budget and the other metrics. And if the the borrower is purchasing this high and will only lend this high, well, then they might have to cover a down payment. But if they're able to negotiate that down to here or even below, we'll still cover 100% of that purchase price. So there isn't really a need for a gap funder at that point. And so that's one strategic way we've been able to kind of still keep ourselves secure, but also fill in that kind of void, that space in the industry right now where people are looking for ways to preserve some of their liquidity and scale. So that might be something to consider in your direct application, trying to figure out how to do that with new construction. I don't know what that looks like, but biggest thing is just finding a way to make sure you still stay secure. Gap funding in and of itself is usually very hard to stay secure because your second position, there's a very good chance you could lose that money. Where if you're in full control of it and you've defined your parameters, then you might have a better shot of being able to fill that need there that you're identifying. So just something to consider. Does that help?
What are you thinking for, what's the exit strategy on an ADU build out?
So right now, like I said, the investors that I've talked to, they're renting out like the main home and the ADUs. So obviously they're looking to refinance. However, the appraisers out here are taking their sweet time catching up to valuing valuing ADUs appropriately, I guess. So that's been kind of the roadblock. But yeah, the exit strategy is to either rent them out, manage them, collect rental income.
Interesting. So essentially the exit strategy is a refi
Correct.
property. Yep. Interesting. Cool. Eric, thanks for hopping on. Glad to have you.
Thanks, guys. Sorry that I was late to the party, but so good to see everybody on here. We got some familiar faces with Aaron Ford and Mike Holloway. Thanks so much for joining. Judith Rosenberg, it is so good to see you.
It's been a long time. Nice to see you too.
Yeah, first time I had a sit down talk with Judith was in Kalispell, Montana, all the way up there at the community camp. That was fun.
It was super fun.
Yeah. And I think there's Laura, and I'm seeing Cynthia here. I don't know if I've officially met you guys yet, but thanks so much for hopping on. Good to see you here.
I
muted.
What's happening with you, Eric? We probably should check in with each other outside of this meeting.
We should, yeah, we should. We should see what's going on and how things are going. Speaking of ADUs, like, Jude, you've done a lot of stuff that was pretty cool. Like, if I remember right, like, quote me or let me know if I'm wrong, but basically helping homeowners in California who couldn't really afford their home anymore. You guys would build an ADU for them, and then they would use the cash flow from renting that ADU to pay you guys back and everything, and pay off the loan that they would get on that.
Close. It's close. But things have developed a lot since then. So I don't know if you know Barb Dunn, but she and I are partners now on a business, affordable infill housing. So we're taking the ADU thing to another level, mostly looking at ways to build multiple ADUs on multifamily homes and partnering with churches and nonprofits to use their underutilized land to build housing. So.
Yeah, Justin knows that that's near and dear to my heart. I've talked his ears off a few times about creative methods to construct way cheaper and ways to get affordable housing going. I'm laser focused on Creative Cash Partners right now. So every time I get that itch to jump into the creative construction methods, I've got to hold on to that for just a little bit. But as soon as we've got Creative Cash Partners fully launched and hopefully automated as much as possible, then that's what I'm going to jump into 100%.
So I'm glad to hear what you're doing. I'd like to know more what Creative Cash Partners is about.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we named it basically to be the cash partner. So without going into excruciating detail for everyone on the call, I just put the link to our website, creativecashpartners.com there. But basically, we want to provide all the benefits that a cash partner does: a lightning fast 2 or 3 day closing, no down payment, no monthly payments, as long as the deal qualifies and it's in the right states and they can buy it deep enough and everything. As long as that deal qualifies, we are basically like a cash partner for them. Don't pay me until the end. The difference is we're not getting half of your profit. We're only getting our flat fee. It's like a 10% flat fee in 90 days, and the flat fee goes up a little bit for each month that goes on. But our website's got the flat fees, the loan calculator, all of the frequently asked questions there. So that's basically who we are. For North Carolina, Georgia, West Virginia, and Ohio, we are a very, very fast option, essentially like their cash partner for people to close deals quickly and easily.
And you're doing multifamily as well as single family?
Creative Cash Partners is just single family. So some people call a quadruplex like 4 units multifamily, but it's, by the lending laws, it's still a single family home. So anything 4 units and less, that's what we do at Creative Cash Partners.
I invest in Ohio, so I definitely want to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, we're doing deals in Ohio. We can talk more about those. And if you've got friends or partners who are also investing, we can give you referral fees or broker points, however you want to do that, for sending them our way too.
Cool. Very cool.
Yep. Where are you now, Judith? Are you in California?
I live in California, and we invest all over the country, actually. So Barbara's in Idaho, and I've been investing in the Cleveland area for several years now.
Yep. Very, very good. You guys are rock stars. I can't keep up with you. That's all the stuff you're doing.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time. But I want to room for other people to speak who might want to speak.
Yep, for sure. For sure. Laura, I think you were about to unmute and say something. How you doing?
Hi, I'm sorry. In case there's noise in the background, my kids are here from school today.
Problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for having me. I know that I was introduced to you guys by Amber McCullen a couple of weeks ago. So just looking to become acquainted and hopefully partner with you guys on some deals in the future.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Tell me what are you up to? Like, what are you focused on in your business? Like, what is the strengths? What do you need in? Like, how can we help throw some gas on your fire?
Yeah, so we currently invest in 6 different states, and most of them are buy and hold. We have been refinancing, pulling out, taking part of that, but then reinvesting into the next property.
Yep.
However, every now and then we come across a deal that just seems a little too good, or whatever it may be, that we don't necessarily have as much cash on hand. And that's why we're looking to leverage partnerships to either use private money, hard money. Sorry about that. In some of those
opportunities. And they're way
opportunities.
noisier than yours, probably. Go ahead. So are you basically doing the BRRRR strategy, if you've heard of that?
Yes, that is exactly what we've done.
Yep, that's awesome. I'm in the BRRRR Invest Academy with Nate Barger. I don't know if he's the biggest person in the BRRRR strategy, but like for somebody that just preaches it, you know Nate Barger?
I've heard of him, but I haven't done his academy. Far.
He gives almost as much good stuff. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, his paid academy is amazing. I'm a member of it, but his free Facebook group, the BRRRR Invest Academy, is incredible as well. Tons of great people and resources and stuff to learn there. So what are the states that you're working in on the BRRRR method?
New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee.
Got it. Yeah, that's good. We can so we don't do all of those states, but like Georgia, for example, we could, if you want to get a deal that pencils out, and like our website has the stoplight calculator and stuff, so I don't have to bore everybody on the call with all these details of just our stuff. But as long as the deal pencils out, then we can fund 100% of that, so you don't have to bring a down payment to the table or monthly payments. And if there's rehab involved, then we do the rehab and draws. We can send that same day. So we can have another call offline. I've also got an amazing client rep, Wesley, so he could have a call with you just to understand a little bit more specifically what you need and making sure our product's the best fit for that. So we'd love to help you out and get some deals going with you.
Great, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Who else is hanging out here that I haven't bugged yet? I think, Aaron, you were here and talking with Justin a bit, but good to see you.
Yeah, I have a quick question for you, Eric.
Sure.
As far as referring somebody to your to Creative Capital, would somebody like me representing a borrower submit that into your site, or direct the borrower directly into there? What is the best flow?
I guess it really depends on who do you want to be. Like, to me, if you're gonna be a broker, then don't just halfway be a broker. Like, go full on brokering, because that's where the most bang for your buck is. So if you're gonna be a broker that's charging the borrower like a $5,000 flat fee or 2 points, which is like 2% of the loan, if you want to do that, and you know a lot of people that need private money, then of course the argument is like, well, why would I go through a broker when I could just go straight to the lender and then I don't have to pay that 5,000 fee or the 2 points or whatever the fee is? The best answer for that as a broker is that you tell them like, hey, first of all, I'm going to package up all the loan. I'm going to take care of the communications. I'm going to make it the easy button for you. And second of all, if you're going to be brokering, then really you should be talking with us and then tons of other private money lenders and tons of other hard money lenders, so that you can tell the client, like, yes, there's going to be a little broker fee that would have been cheaper if you go directly to the lender, but I know 50 of the best lenders, and let me learn your scenario specifically, and then make sure, like, is it a DSCR? Is it private money? What is the best choice for you? And then I'll provide that best choice for you, so you can kind of brand yourself as a one-stop shop that can provide incredible value broker services to people who need funds. However, if you don't think that it's like, oh, I don't want to be that involved, I don't really want to do the whole broker thing and be involved in the whole process. I just want to get a referral fee because I know people that need private money. That can just be like a simple 3-way text, or that can just be like, oh, hey, go talk with Creative Cash Partners and make sure that you put on like my name, Aaron Ford, like right on our submission form for the deals, or they'll put in that referral name. So either way works for us. Like if you want to officially broker the deal and be involved as a broker, you can put that on the form and you can fill out all the paperwork, or you could just have them fill it out, put you in as a broker, or have them fill it out and you'll be just a referral. I mean, you can even 3-way text Justin or I, or you can just let us know and then we'll tag that in our system. We like to make it easy for people, as easy as possible. Justin probably has a better answer on like specifically how we would tag and tag the referrals, but we paid out several referral fees recently. We pay those out all the time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a broker at all. It would simply be if I run across somebody, I'd refer them over to you.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. As far as a referral goes, that just have the borrower literally put it in as a referral. Because there's actually there's a spot where they can just put your name in as a referral, and then we pay that out once they pay off the loan.
Got it. I joined the Gator Challenge, which starts tomorrow. So
Nice.
there could be some opportunities here, and I'm just trying to like get my groundwork put together for when those opportunities come up and where to direct those.
Yep, for sure. You can tell them to go to us and put their name on there. Like if you want a 3-way text, or if you want to just like let us know, you can email me or message like, hey, by the way, so and so sounded like a great option. You can refer them even if they don't immediately submit with us. We can have a follow-up call with them, because some people will just be like, oh, hey, here's Creative Cash Partners, go apply and put me as a referrer. Some people will just go and do it and it'll work, but other people need that phone call. So in that case, we have our salesman, our client representative, Wesley, who is really great. You know, maybe that person just from a brief conversation with you isn't really sure about Creative Cash Partners or who we are, why they should work with us, what the benefit is, if we're the best option for them. But Wesley could get on a phone call with them to explain exactly how our product works and why it's better than hard money in many scenarios. There are a few very specific scenarios where hard money is better than private money, and I'll tell people like, yeah, you should probably just get a hard money loan because it'll be better for you than this. But we'll dive into that and like make sure that it makes sense for them to be getting private money from us.
Cool. Awesome.
Just a quick question, Eric. Do you refer to other lenders for states where you're not active?
We do. Absolutely.
Okay. I definitely give you a call later today.
Yeah, sounds good. We've got quite a decent network really of people that can get deals done outside of the states that we do directly. I have got a little bit more homework to do in terms of organizing all that and then having that in a concise spot to where Justin can put that on the website and just like have links or referrals that are like, hey, if you're outside of our states, here's all the people that do it in the other states. Tell them that we referred you or whatever. We don't have all that ready right now, but I know people who can do deals in the states that I'm not doing them in. So we can get you some connections there.
Terrific. Thank you so much.
Yep, no problem. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much for hopping on. I know I was a little bit late to the party here. We would you like to keep the office hours somewhat relatively short? Who have I not booked yet that's on here? Mike Holloway, I saw you talking a little bit. How you doing, Mike?
Good, Eric. Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. Good to see you here.
Yeah, good seeing you too.
Someone's got some noise coming through. I'm not sure who that one is. But anyways, we appreciate you all being on here. Does anybody have any additional questions? Oh my gosh, that might have been for me. Sorry guys, I had I had a different feature going on. I swear, like I don't have kids in here. I'm in a studio office. Oh my gosh, that was bad. I'm sorry about that. That was our
Playing apparently.
what?
Eric's got other tabs playing or something.
That was our CRM, Justin. I'll tell you later. You'll understand exactly what that was. So awesome. Well, guys, if there's no other questions, then have a fantastic weekend and a happy Friday for everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I love to see you all and connect here. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and let others know about it. One thing we'd like to build this into, like obviously we've got kind of a mixed group. We got some lenders who are just looking for information and looking to connect, but also, you know, we want to encourage borrowers to also come in here if they got questions about, you know, the program or whatever, or funding. Then it's equal opportunity for both folks. I think you know, we tend to attract a lot more people who are more interested in connecting, brokering, lending. So that's totally fine. Invite your friends, invite people to come join us. And we would love to, you know, pour back into our community and answer questions, and just help each other out. Because that, you know, that helps us to do, to find opportunities to do deals together as well. So,
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Have an
guys.
awesome one.
You bet. Bye-bye.
See ya.